Both the Lotus Pools and the Shrines of Wisdoms initiate the same type of capturing process. In order to capture it, you must stay inside until the circle is fully completed. But a very important noteworthy tip is that the circle represents both the Radiant and the Dire side, meaning that this circle does not reset until either one person remains inside or both parties leave. This also gives you the potential of doing some pretty sneaky last-second steals of either objective. Lotus Pools spawn even larger lotuses the later the game goes, making them a pretty big deal, especially during the later stages of the game. This also makes it much easier to make the Block of Cheese item, which grants you a potentially game-winning regenerating shield. Marking items for selling not only automatically sells your item when you walk into the vicinity of a nearby shop, but this also orders your courier to automatically grab the marked items directly from your inventory without having to drop them on the ground anymore. And yes, you could also send your courier out to do this exact action without actually delivering an item. During the transition of Roshan's migration from top to bottom and vice versa, you can actually hear Death Prophet announce that he will be on the move.
Roshan has moved to a new region.
You can only hear this announcement if you're currently standing around the mid lane river in the way of his pathing. Holding Alt and right-clicking certain abilities can permanently show you the range indicator of that exact spell, but on top of that, this can also be done to show your auto attack range by right-clicking on top of your attack damage stat. The speed boost you gain from these safe lane rivers not only works on just heroes, but also speeds up your courier as well. So if you want to min-max your courier delivery speed around that specific area, you can micromanage it along the flow current to receive your items faster. During Roshan's migration, make sure to actually wait for Roshan to enter its new pit and to come to a complete halt. If you attack him too quickly, you can actually aggro him during his ferocious frenzy and get tossed over and over and over again. And trust me, you don't want this to happen, or else you'll end up on that cliff just like Arteezy over there. Ever wanted to call for a smoke gank but are forced to wait because your supports had the item in their backpack? Well, you can actually bypass the cooldown penalty by simply handing the smoke over to a nearby ally instead. Since the backpack internal cooldown update not only affects items that are delivered by your own courier, but all items your hero obtains. Now, I don't know if you guys know this or even care at all, but this one neutral creep has the idle animation of playing the flute, and my god, does he own that shit! If multiple people on the same team are standing inside the Wisdom capturing area, the first player granted experience is chosen at complete random, not necessarily the first person to stand inside of it.
Lena, you hellfire bitch.
For some godforsaken unknown reason, Wukong can actually cosplay as Roshan. But to make things even stranger, this is only possible when casting Mischief at the top Roshan pit. This does not work in the south side. Mana draught, whatever. This item's tooltip states that it has a reduced cooldown effect when your hero is currently on water, but this does not necessarily mean that the item will receive the full cooldown benefit just from activating it in the river. As you can see, the cooldown actually changes depending on where your hero is currently standing, showing two separate internal cooldowns, one for when you're standing on land and one for when you're standing in the water. This means even if you had activated mana drafts active when on land, you can then walk into the water afterwards to then receive the reduced cooldown. Even without proper vision, you can actually see when the enemies are taking the Lotus Fruit, allowing you to have the upper advantage when ganking his bitch ass. Hey yo pussy, come here! For some reason, Blood Grenade when dropped on the ground resembles the same look as a neutral item. Cutting costs yet again, I see. Valve, never change. Never change. Maybe using all their funds on this year's battle pass that's coming out. Surely that's it, right guys? Am I right? And last but not the least, if you knew every single one of these things, you need to go outside. Seriously, you play way too much Dota. Jesus Christ.